Okay, so I just want to make a video about the tuners that I have. So I play on Superstar because it actually offers some type of challenge to me. I haven't played this game in a bit, and so it's going to be probably a terrible display of my tuners and my ability to play the game, but hopefully it'll simulate somewhat, as best as I can, a realistic experience to hockey. So I just want to go really quickly through the tuners and explain why I have things a certain way. Okay, so attribute effects, I want attributes to matter, so it's at a 10 out of 10. I've got game speed to 3 out of 6. I find if you overtune this game speed up, then the goalies become basically like Spider-Man goalies. So 3 out of 6 is what I settled on from my tuning experience. I like fatigue to actually affect the game. Like in real life, you're not going to get good shots off when your arms are dead and stuff like that, and your legs are dead. Fatigue recovery, I'd like to roll all the lines, and so you have to roll all your lines. You can't just rely on your top 2 lines like the game out of the box does. You could probably adjust the injury occurrence up. I should actually probably do that. I should probably tag on more injuries to humans. Skating. So these are just my sliders that I have for skating. You'll see kind of how it looks like once I show the game. In my opinion, that's the best way that accurately represents the game. So yeah, shooting. One thing that you're going to realize is that when you have fatigue effect, you kind of have to compensate shot accuracy, and you have to compensate shot power to the fatigue effect. So if the guy's fresh, obviously the shot's going to be a lot more accurate. I still think shots are too accurate in this game for my liking out of the box, so I've got it tuned down a little bit. Shot power, computer shot power and accuracy in certain situations just kind of wildly unrealistic. So you'll see why I have the shot power. Hopefully it emulates real life pretty decently. And yeah, so those are kind of my numbers for shooting, and you'll see why I have it this way in the game. All right, passing. So I like it when, not every pass hits and not every pass is super accurate. So I've got it tuned down quite a bit. Pass interceptions are OP. So this is kind of a realistic interpretation. I've got computer set to 0 and human set to 1. So you can pass through if you've got a nice lane, but they will still intercept the puck if they have enough distance and time to react, and they'll still pick it up in good situations. But you can force passes through sticks and skates like in real life, as they do all the time. Pass reception ease, got that tuned way down, because if you're throwing rocket passes, you shouldn't be able to accept rocket passes unless there's a lot of time to react to it and you have good puck handling skills and puck control. Reaction time, I got that changed. Yeah, and then so it all depends kind of how these passes are going, where I've tuned down basically the control of a lot of situations and how they handle it, because there's a lot of bobbled pucks when you do pass in real life. So yeah, I got puck control kind of adjusted differently. So you can over deke in this game. You have to have kind of control with the puck if you want to be making dekes, unless you have a Connor McDavid and you're deking at super high speeds. And yeah, if you're going way too fast, you should probably slow down if you want to make 4 dekes in a row or something like that. Goalies. So this is probably the most controversial thing. This is something I advocate for a lot. So with goalies, I think that they're not realistic at all in a lot of interpretations. There's a lot of goals that go through goalies. There's a lot of goals that, or there's a lot of shots that get kind of deflected off of the tips of gloves and stuff like that and go wide of the net. And I feel like I've tuned the goalies to a good, realistic interpretation of the game from how I have my shot mechanics set up. So yeah, I've got a lot of the tuning for goaltenders tuned right down, but you'll see they actually still are very competent at making saves, but you'll get more realistic rebounds this way, and you'll get more realistic scoring chances. So shots in, say, the high slot, if they're accurate, are going to go in. If you're in a good shooting position close to the net, you can put it through the goalie, like in real life. And shots matter. There's a term called wasted shots, and every now and then wasted shots do go into the net, and you don't like to see that kind of with online play if you're in great position a lot. So this would by no means be how I'd tune it to EA Sports Hockey League. I think I make adjustments, but for 1v1 play, I think this is quite realistic interpretations, and hopefully you'll see that in the game here that I'll post in my next video. All right, so checking, this is something that I'm pretty proud of. I think using the body matters in this game when you tune it this way. And so I've got hitting power tune way low because I think big hits don't happen every time you make a body check. So every time you make a body check, there should be some type of physical reaction, most likely resulting in losing of the puck, but it shouldn't be kind of a gimme to basically look like you've absolutely wrecked somebody off of like a play where they're just kind of skating into you and you're back skating and whatnot. So yeah, I've tuned it down to that. Poke checking accuracy I don't think is accurate enough out of the box. And yeah, penalties, admittingly I'm not the greatest at tuning those. I've got a good number of penalties randomized every game, but it's not realistic at all in comparison to the real game, where you're getting a whole variety of different penalties getting called, whether it be boarding, slashing, high sticking, tripping, whatever you name it. And the AI in this game is not good. I don't have it tuned realistically, so I'm unable to, just because you can't change the way that they code the game and program their players to play. And so I just have it set to an experience where I feel like there is a challenge, and that the AI somewhat does things that are somewhat realistic in certain situations, but overall the AI is just not great in this game, unfortunately. And I could go on and on about that, but I have it tuned to where they play cheap, but at least it offers some type of challenge, because I can't tune them to play realistically. No matter how many settings I do, they'll still take they won't take their opportunities. Like, say if they're on a 2-on-1, they'll like pass it back to the D or something like that. They'll do stupid plays like that all the time, or they don't rush to the boards and stuff in certain situations on the breakout, all that stuff. So anyways, I'm gonna play a game. I'll show you kind of how this looks. I'll probably do it in a game of versus and not in my franchise mode, because then it's with players you can kind of follow and somewhat know. So yeah, hopefully the game doesn't look completely awful and it's one of those anomalies where the game just looks absolutely stupid. But yeah,